Hi everybody, May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month, and as you may or may not know, most of you on here will probably know I am a multiple melanoma patient. So I've had melanoma now quite a few times, and I was first diagnosed in 2015. I do advocate for melanoma awareness and skin cancer awareness and education around sun cream and the risks and all the rest for as much as I can, very much within my role as a physiotherapist. But I'm also trying to do a little bit of teaching with assemblies and local schools as well, and just trying to get it out there as to how dangerous the sun can be and how to be able to enjoy the sun safely. And because of this, and because I attend the conference that Melanoma Focus run now almost annually, they got in touch today and asked if Global Radio could get in touch to ask me some questions, because at the moment there is a lobby going on in Parliament, mainly spearheaded by Amy Callaghan, who I met at the latest conference, and they are trying to scrap value-added tax on sun cream. Because believe it or not, at the moment, the government don't see it as like a health essential. They see it as a cosmetic, so it is taxed as such. So the idea is, if they were to scrap the tax on it, would it make it more accessible for people? Would they be more inclined to wear it and use it more liberally? Because really it should really be slapped on. Half the time people don't put enough cream on for it to actually be effective in order to prevent skin cancer in the first place. And apparently a barrier to this, folk have been questioned about this, and half of adults in the UK feel that sun cream is too expensive. So if we reduce that barrier, could we perhaps decrease the amount of skin cancer cases? So there are lots of different risk factors when it comes to skin cancer. For me, it's partly genetic and familial. I've got melanoma on both sides of my family, but I do spend a lot of time outside and always have done, particularly as a child. The education wasn't around sun protection back in the 70s and the 80s. I am that old. And my mother did, and my father probably did as much as they thought they could do at the time. But the technology wasn't there in terms of how effective sun protection was. Sometimes you would get like once a day creams, you know, my God, you need to be putting it on every couple of hours. And the effectiveness of how they were applied, so a thin layer will just do absolutely nothing at all. So all of that has probably led to me having cancer quite a few times now. And I really don't want that to happen to anybody else, because it is life-changing. Sometimes for the better, if I'm honest, but generally for the worse. Nobody really wants cancer, let's be honest. So if we can minimise that risk, then we should. And the thing I wanted to talk about today is sun cream. So sun cream is expensive. However, it's not particularly expensive if you get it from some places. A lot of the supermarkets do some excellent brands now. Their own brands are great. And there's a brand that I've lobbied? No, we're talking about something else now. There's a brand that I've been really quite loyal to from the beginning, that was recommended to me by my own dermatologist, and it was formulated by Andrew Burney, who is a consultant dermatologist. And there is very little profit made on this product. It's really very cheap indeed, and it's excellent. It's got a good consistency and it doesn't have any fragrance. I found when I was first diagnosed and I was putting even more sun cream on all the time, like constantly, that the smell of coconut was actually knocking me sick. So this is great. So I can just slap it on, not even think about it. And then if I know I'm going to be back out in the sun later that day, I can put it on again. And it's nice and cheap, and it's really nice to apply, and it's excellent for the skin as well. Great for kids too. My little girl does exactly the same as I do, pops it on the skin every day regardless, but particularly when we know it's going to be a brighter day. However, remember that sun rays can travel through clouds. Yeah, clouds aren't made of steel, so sun rays can get through them. The other risk factor I want to talk about is, I've never used them myself personally, but sunbeds are horrendous. I'd love to swear, but I'm not going to. They need to be banned. Yeah, they're just little carcinogenic, horrible things, and they're horrific. So please, please, please don't use a sunbed. They're just dreadful, dreadful things. Be safe in the sun. Go out in the sun. I don't want to be afraid of the sun. I just want to be as protected as I can be. So maybe wear a hat, a cap, cover yourself up to a large extent, put lots of cream on, loads of it. So a big kind of 10 pence piece size, but a big thick one. that is what you want over your face, and then you want twice that for your arms, and then twice that again for your legs. So you want a good amount on. The lovely thing about Altruist in particular, I'm not paid by these people, by the way, I just think they make a fabulous product or products, is that it's cheap enough and it feels nice and it absorbs in and you can just slap it on. So protect yourself, try to stay out of midday sun if you can, because that's generally when it's at its strongest. Protect children, please. Little children shouldn't be tanned, they shouldn't have pink skin, they certainly shouldn't have sunburn. Please look after your kids. And that's pretty much it. So if you did hear me on the radio today, I really hope that I sounded okay. Apparently I was on Northeast, Capital, Heart and Smooth. So if you've got any feedback as to how ridiculous I sounded, I think I'd like to hear it. All right, take care everyone and be safe. Bye now.